just to see our operations here today. And she'll just be having a little chat with you to see how things are going. And I'll ask Ms. Ralph in a bit to come and give us a brief of what happens here at the call center. So this call center was really established after about a week of the operations where we realized that our lines were just too congested to receive the numerous calls that were coming in. And we had to have this kind of avenues where the public can actually get its information to us and we can actually call it that. So hence the center call center was established.
Good morning to everyone. I am encouraging you to be the best you can be. Remember, you are interfacing with the public, and always to be on your guard. The manner that is the manner in which you conduct the exercise is always significant, because you know sometimes when people call in, they're frustrated. Some of them may be angry, and so you being at the other end of the receiver is the one who would actually get that anger and that frustration thrown at you. So you always have to be mentally prepared, courteous, take the information and give whatever feedback you can in a professional way. And I'm sure you're doing that. I know, I have confidence that you will be doing that. And that's why you've chosen to do what you're doing here. So I can only ask you this morning to continue the good work that you're doing. And I hope that this activity would not take too long, because we are having so many things thrown at us. The COVID-19, the volcanic eruption, now we are having the floods, and of course we have the hurricane season coming up. So these are challenging times for all of us, and I know that you can rise to that challenge.
New persons and persons who have registered prior, they come, make inquiries, and then we process them and send them off to the warehouse for distribution.
How many persons you have in the homes now that registered?
About
6,000. And in the shelters, so this is over 2,000. And you have your teams in each shelter. And persons with skills in the centers expected to assist in any way. Yes. Because I know that they are sitting there and they have very good skills. and we will want to help at some point in time. And that help perhaps will be absolutely necessary, depending on how many persons we have. So, let me keep up the good work, Karen. And I know you're an organizer. Miss Fox, I don't know how you find them, but I know this is my former student, and she has a lot of good time. Now, as we're talking about the shelters, I have a group of relatives in the USA, and they have sent some funds to assist with the needs of the persons in the homes. You see? And so later on I'd like you to give me some more information about some of those persons, because sometimes they do not register, but it's hard on them, and it's also hard on the person who's hosting them. So we would like to give as much assistance as possible, and I will, of course, go through you to get that information. But I must say, those persons, and I name a few of them, it's Artie Phils, Val and Vin Phils, Dr. and Mrs. King, Baldwin King, and we have Mrs. Hazeley Hercules, Dr. Christian Stevens, and a few others, their children and other relatives. But they have come forward and they are willing to help with this picture. And of course we have other persons who are asking how that assistance could be given. I say to them, send the assistance to NEMO. And I know that you have that information online, so I am sure that many of them would have responded in a positive way, because they're out there and they're concerned, they're worried, thinking that they're not here physically to assist. But if they can assist us in some way tangible, then we're prepared to do that. So I have to publicly thank them, and also to continue to encourage them to send that assistance to us, albeit it's easier in a monetary form, but in whatever way we can.
We also have first two centers identified for vulnerable persons.
Yes.
That's at JP Eustace,
Yes.
and the Government Golden Years Center. And we have some vulnerable persons also placed at alternative locations.
Well, I had a meeting with Ms. Forbes earlier, and she recommended some, that those two centers would need some help. The JP Eustace Memorial and the Cane Grove, I think it is, that Golden Years Center. So we have already sent a consignment of stuff to them. And we have also assisted the Thomas Saunders Secondary School with some cleaning materials. Also the Girls High School, they are well taken care of. I must say the shelters are well taken care of. But they had asked for some articles of clothing and so, which we were able to give to them. So our main focus really is on those persons who are suffering and perhaps they're challenged and they don't know how to come forward. They do not have the means, and perhaps they're timid. Some people are very timid when it comes to asking for assistance. So we are trying to identify those persons, and wherever possible, we will assist NEMO with the dispatching of any items we have to make their lives easier.
So we have established on the island 33 land-based and 17 sea-based task force members from Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force. And so far we have been assisting with the distribution and offloading of items on the port. We have assisted also with the construction of the tents. And wherever we are needed to apply extra manpower this time, we are therefore sending out our troops. Today you can see a combination of the CDRU and the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force Task Force team constructing another MSU. And when we continue and walk along, you'll see the different areas we have set up. So I invite you to take a walk with us, ma'am, if you so desire.
Yes.
You could probably just walk through the MSU and floor space that is available to it. And as indicated, holistically we'll have 6 at this side constructed in this facility. Plus we have 2 larger ones which would give us an entire floor space of the at this facility. Yes, we're working alongside the RSS. They will be providing security together with the police and the police force. They are combined to provide the security for the entire compound. Yes, Braxa has been providing some significant support towards developing our toilet, what to keep all the COVID practices. So this is one of the new MSUs I received yesterday. Combination of both Trinidad and Tobago and CDRU have we are hoping to complete at least 3 of them today and finish the final tomorrow so that we reach full capacity. So easy reloading at the ports, airport and seaport eventually. We have 2 MSUs we could walk on. We could walk all the way up. Volunteers to help some of your employees that have been working with us to help out, and we have the members of the CDR. So our plan is when we have each one of our places here with some of the concerns that we have the eventuality here, we can transition the operations and the So far it's been going well. We've offloaded about 8 containers. Interestingly, to recommend is that some are easy stuff, so we have to offload them manually. We also have some contracted contractor from an island that they are providing some assistance in terms of transporting containers to this location and some equipment that will assist in offloading the items as well.
One of the other challenges that we have in these sort of contexts is that supplies come in without being adequately labeled and documented. So we'll have a container that just says relief supplies. So we don't know if there's food, if there's water, if there's other items. So this is where the SEDEMA logistics system will come in as well. So once it's received, despite those challenges of not knowing what's in there, once it's received, we'll be able to sort it, organize it, and document it in the system. And then that will ultimately help the government to be better able to plan the distribution of the relief supplies. Because
that is a concern. You have persons who would send barrels and boxes to the relatives.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
What has happened, we've been working alongside customs officer has come in so that a lot of items that we
Keep going, just keep going, just keep walking. You're gonna start with me. Hello. The premier. right, well, good day to all, and we're here on the runway for the now decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport. And today we are following Governor General Dame Suzanne Dougan. Thus far this morning, she would have made a visit to the call center of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO. That's in New Montrose. As I said, we're here on location where the distribution of a lot of relief supplies taking place. A lot of supplies coming here, and this is the distribution point. If you can just pan up, and there we see the touring party. So we're going to get to the touring party so that we can certainly let you know what's exactly unfolding here this morning on the runway of the now decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport. And I can say to you that there's quite a lot of activity that is taking place. Thus far, there are, I believe, 3 tents already constructed, but we noticed that there was a 4th tent being put in place, and we're now just having some words here from the touring party.
So as you will see, some water and some rice that came in late yesterday.
Just water and rice, yeah.
In this one, there are some other items throughout.
And this is what we've seen with the containers that have been de-stuffed so far. Again, as I mentioned, it just will say relief items, and you can see here it's water, water, water. So, you know, one of the challenges is, again, to quickly get these containers de-stuffed so that we have visibility of what's actually available, and that will, again, help.
The other significant challenge is to ensure that we start to get things, some of these things distributed to the individuals that need them. It's about getting what they want to them exactly when they want it.
Well, it takes a lot of coordination.
Yes.
I was saying to Ms. Forbes just now, a few minutes ago, that the enormity of the task is almost mind-boggling.
Yes,
because we have so many persons we have to deal with, not only in the shelters,
No,
but
people at home.
elsewhere. And we must not forget those persons who are hosting the evacuees.
Yes.
They too probably will be going through some hardships,
Yes,
and we must bear in mind that they will have some needs. So I guess that at the end of the day, everybody would be duly served.
Definitely.
And this is a fantastic operation, and I thank you for your support, and thank your government and your people for their contribution. And I hope that when all of this is over, you can come back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines
Most
and
definitely.
see us in a different way, not in a disaster zone, but in a way that you can enjoy our hospitality.
And we as well, on behalf of the CDRE, we must say thank you to the people of St. Vincent for the hospitality that has been shown thus far to us. Accommodation-wise and all the facilities that we have needed thus far has been more than forthcoming through NEMO and all the other agencies. The Commissioner of Police has been significant in his support to us, as well as the Cadet Force and the other agencies that we've been working with thus far. Thank you as well. And we're here to support the whole relief effort, and we're here until that we are needed. Sadly, Trinidad and Tobago is scheduled to leave their contingent, but I know there is a request for possibly more, but we'll wait until that decision is made at another level. Sadly, we don't have the authority to say, because they were eager to stay longer actually.
Well, all the best to you, and thank you once again for coming.
Sure, ma'am.
All right, so Governor General Dame Suzanne Dougan in discussion with some of the regional security personnel. Let's get an official salute, and she will return to her vehicle. From here, we'll be heading on to Diamond at the World Kitchen Center. This is the World Food Program where a lot of the relief supplies are coming into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the distribution takes place from this spot here at the now decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport. We're going to wrap it up because the team is now heading out to Diamond with Governor General Dame Suzanne Dougan.
that will go out. And then we have a team of drivers that is led by a gentleman, Felly, and he's leading all of them. And then while this is being done out here, we have the hot food that's being prepared in the kitchen. So I think we're doing close to about 1,900 sandwiches and fruit and water a day, and then 1,900 hot meals from here. And then we've been working. What allowed us to get started so quickly is Sam Block, our Director of Emergency Relief, got here the day after, I think, the initial eruption, you know, on some planes and some boats. He was able to get here and start working with local restaurants who are helping get our food to where it needs to go. And, you know, we have maps, everything over there. You can see, actually, this is something good to check out.
And you have volunteers.
We have volunteers, and many of them are actually the students at the school. So they're getting the school, which, you know, maybe during COVID hasn't been open the whole time. They're getting to flex those culinary skills and learn with our chefs that have come in. So Sam and Melissa, who got here early, they've been putting all these locations on the map, different places that we've been taking the food in all zones. And even today, with all the rains yesterday that happened, we have a team of people that we serve food to in the red zone. They're going to come down past the checkpoint and get the food and then carry it back up to the neighborhood. So we built a lot of local relationships with the communities here. And I say we, it's the team that's been here before me. I just got here 3 days ago. It's beautiful. You know, we're going to rotate the team out over the course of a few weeks as everyone, you know, just get some rest. And Melissa's been here early over there, Melissa Gluck, who works on our emergency response team. So it's been a wonderful partnership, and you know. So usually it's hurricanes, not volcanoes, but you know, in volcanoes we've responded in Guatemala. So you know, this is what we do. So we're happy, we're so grateful to be allowed to do the work here.
And the resources you have, is it coming in regularly?
Yeah, so I mean, we're a nonprofit, registered nonprofit in the U.S., and we get donations. You know, we get private donations from general public, you know, from the small to some foundations, sometimes to the big. But everything, we have a large media presence, social media, and we talk to people. So a lot of times, when other people maybe aren't talking about what's going on, we make sure we get photos and video and put the word out there, because our founder, Chef Jose Andres, wants everyone to know what's going on here and not have people forget, you know?
And what are the challenges you're having?
The challenges, honestly, right now are just, yesterday was challenging with the rain and everything, but, you know, we've been working, you know, with several of the ministries, and everyone's sharing information, so it's been very smooth, making sure we aren't doubling up and sending food where already the government is sending stuff. So, you know, I think the challenges are just, you know, as we ramp up and get the numbers higher and higher, that's something that's done exponentially day by day. But no, you know, nothing major. No, not at all. I don't know if would you like to see the kitchen really quick? Okay. You know, it's been great. I think some of the months we're going to have the benefit of working with the health department here, and they're going to give some training to our people so they have one. You know, we don't have that food in the kitchen like that. So we have several culinary teams here working hard every morning. We get here around 6. Students and volunteers come around 8. And then, you know, the goal now is the days get shorter because you just get more efficient. And we brought in food shifted from Miami. We're buying a lot of food locally. We're buying local vegetables and things like that because we want to, as much as we can, keep the money here in the local economy. Working with several distributors. We have a director of procurement. He's on the ground here too, so he can look at everything. If you see when you pull up outside, we got refrigerated containers dropped by a crane yesterday. I mean, just every day making things better so that it makes it easier to do what we do. Yeah.
And I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you for saying that.
Volunteerism is always important, especially when there's a disaster. And I know that Vincentians will appreciate what you're doing because you're providing hot meals as well. And it takes a lot of strain off of the shelters And so working collaboratively like this would assist us in meeting our targets, in feeding our people, and to make sure that they're happy where they are and comfortable. So I applaud you and your management for what you are doing. And I know that you have the experience, and that experience would come to bear on how you deliver to us. It takes a lot of coordination, but in times of disaster, it's amazing how humankind could get together and do what is necessary. So it's our survival, it's our comfort. Having food is a basic requirement, and once you are able to assist in that area, we are more than happy to have you in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you so much for having us assist. And you hit what you're saying too is if we can have someone not have to worry about food, then they can focus on something else important that they need to focus on too. So yeah, you're really describing why we do what we do. So thank you. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
All right, so we're here at the World Kitchen Program, and as you notice, meals being prepared. We have Governor General Dame Susan Dougan being given a tour of the facilities here this morning. Just meeting with some members of the kitchen.
Well, if anyone would like to try the food, just let me know. But yeah, we. Oh yeah, this is our founder, Chef Jose Andres.
All right, you notice something major taking place here.
Paella. They cook paella in a paella pan.
Yeah.
And this, you know, they range in many different sizes, but these are custom made, super big. So each one of these can do, I would say, Alyssa, how many meals per turn? This is Chef Alyssa, also in from Washington, D.C. Yeah, so each pan, 900 meals. Do it again, 900. So it's really efficient way. It's a really efficient way to cook the meals instead of filling the ovens. Yeah. And they, you know, the chefs are cooking, braising things overnight, just, you know, again, working hard to make everything more efficient. And there's a lot of cool equipment here in the culinary school. There's a chopper here that I had never seen before, a buffalo chopper that you just drop whole veg in, and then it's chopped. So.
And you use a lot of local vegetables.
Yes, exactly, and that's why we brought in our director of procurement to help. You know, initially to make sure we had food, we immediately put some food on the ships out of Florida, but then came here to say, okay, let's transition from that to local base, and that's what we've been doing. Yesterday we had a meal using some big local pumpkins and things like that. Yeah, so that's ultimately always the goal. Yeah. There's a need, now they have the knowledge of the bulk cooking. And we have these boxes will hold, if you put a tray of hot food in there, it'll keep it very hot for even up to 8 hours. And you can fit 6 or 7 in there. And once they're all in there together, then it's definitely going to stay hot. So this is how we maintain food temperature safety and everything like that. And that's a big part. We purchase a lot of these throughout the year. It's just such a good way to keep everything. So the food containers. So that like in here for the places we'll send trays, and then we'll take some clamshells. So if somebody's serving for the neighborhood for people to go, and we've again being.
So you actually do a service in the.
We've found local folks in the neighborhood who want to step up. So we give them an apron. We say, give them the tools. We give them the serving spoons, the forks, the what they call the clamshells there, or the boats just to scoop into. And then people know every day to go there, and that's where they get the food. So yeah, and that's what a lot of those pins represent on the map out there. And we're actually going to have Coach Kyle, the local swim coach legend, has been helping us. He's been helping organize so much. He had some friends build another rack that we're going to put another. We're going to have 2 of those paella pans going at once. So we're really going to be doing a lot of meals. So working with folks like him, who, when we say, how do we get a rack welded? He said, I know somebody. Yeah, so that's been very good. This is our director of procurement over there in the blue, Jason. He's the one helping to transition to more local produce. Hi, how are you? So yeah, I was just saying how we brought in a lot of food to make sure we had it, but then you've been working with local folks on switching to local vegetables and things like that. So that's one of his many jobs, and we came in together, and we were super excited. We were the second wave of the team to come in, and it's been very nice.
And we do appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's excellent that you were able to come in, start immediately to function, and because of your experience, you know exactly what you have to do.
Thank you.
So as I said earlier, we do appreciate what you're doing, and I hope that what you're doing can be sustained for a fairly long time, because it looks like the volcano and its effects would be with us for a while.
Yeah, we're going to be here and working towards any solution. If and when people can go back up, then we start to deal with that in that way. And see what we can do for those folks who once the shelters start to empty out. So, yeah, we that's part of the transition for us is emergency response, then what we consider relief, and then recovery and resilience. We've had, after our response in many places, whether it be Puerto Rico for Hurricane Maria or the Bahamas for Hurricane Dorian, we have our resilience team who come in and set up, maybe kitchen training programs or things like that for the long term. And, now having a relationship here with this, if something happens,
We know who to turn.
Yes, exactly. So thank you. Thank you for visiting. We're truly honored for that. So I really appreciate that.
Quickly, could you say to us how many meals are you doing on a daily basis?
We are doing out of here around 4,000, and then organizing another 4,000 from local restaurants. So putting that money back into the local economy, and where we can. So 8,000 overall. So it's about 4,000 lunches and dinners, hot meals, and then a meal of a sandwich and a fruit and a water or something like that.
So you're basically a non-profit organization, but the whole matter of financing, how do you finance such a project?
Yeah, so donations, donations. So we have a team that goes out and looks for donations specifically when an event like this happens, but we also just throughout the year raise money, and this is what the money is for, so we can help folks in need.
You said that you recently set up kitchen in Dominica. Is that going to be a Caribbean hub, or is there the potential of other Caribbean islands?
It's potential. It's a model that it was supported by. We had some donations that specifically wanted to do that. So Jason, our director of procurement, he went there. We helped design the kitchen, build it out, and it's ready. They had some damage even from Hurricane Maria that a lot of people knew as much about Dominica, because Puerto Rico obviously was very, very, they had extensive damage. And that's where we did about 4 million meals in Puerto Rico after the hurricane. And Dominica now, if something happens there, we can go. Or, it could be a model for other islands too. So, but they didn't have something like this. This is a beautiful facility, this culinary school here, this institute. So we've been very lucky, and we were able to come in, and we brought some of our own equipment, and maybe fix a few things too. It hadn't been used in a while. So then for us, we can leave it better than what it was. We like to leave every place better than when we came in, you know what I mean? mean, and take good care of it. And because we know we're extremely lucky to have this as a resource.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We have to continue with the team, and
Yes,
all the best with the distribution.
It was quite a team. Thank you all for coming to visit. It was great. It shows our volunteers that people care, and that people are watching what they're doing too, and that people know about the great work they're doing. So thank you.
Pleasure. All right, so we have to now hurry and get back with our team, so keep it right there.
We have 105 shelteries, and we have a baby of 5 months.
1 5 months and 1 6 months.
And 6 months, and the age of 2 in the 70s. 7, yeah, the oldest about in the 70s. The secretary has all the details, but we have challenges. We have overcrowded a bit, but we try to make do. Our capacity is 75, we have 105, so that we are totally overcrowded, but people are enjoying it here and don't want to leave. We usually have programs for the children. The adults, I encourage them to move around, to have little exercise and so forth. And there are some people who go out in the day to their work, while others stay in the shelter. The shelteries are very supportive in most respects. In the morning, you notice they will clean their rooms, clean up this place, and after they have a routine, they will clean, and nobody has to tell them to do that. And they will support the preparation of meals or whatever, they're cutting up the meat or what. But they're very supportive, and some go back to their rooms and sleep, but generally have a peaceful day, despite some of the challenges that we might hear out there and social media. We try our best. Airforce, who's under the guidance of Mr. Joseph, myself and Mr. Joseph and the team we work well together. I'm here to give whatever support he needs. The staff is here, members of staff, they are here. Some of them are not here as yet, but we do a fine job. The secretariat, they have everything that we could send to the ministry on a daily basis. So we are doing quite well. And we are happy for you coming here to see what we are doing at the shelter. So, and we only have better things to come, because we are even thinking we had people from the Ministry of Sports who comes to help out the children with the exercise, and we want to extend that to the elderlies, where we have them getting the relevant exercise. But for the time being, I encourage them to be active. And also, the children, they have activities. They're going to have a fun, more like a fun day, fun event this evening, and tomorrow they're going to have a fun day for them.
What about the academic?
Oh, Ms. Marshall is in charge of that. We put them into groups in terms of classes. We have teachers from different parts of the red zone along with all those teachers from us, and we group them. So if you're a grade 2 teacher, we take those children. We have craft and we have the academics going on. Those in secondary school, the secondary school teachers. More teachers would have been here, but I believe because of the rain yesterday and today being salary free day. But they'll come in a little later. So we have things in terms of the children they're engaged. What we need more is some more activities for the elderly, because I'm concerned because they're eating well. The meals are very good, excellent meals, and I'm a bit concerned with that, that they might get a little lethargic and put on weight, and I don't want them to have any complication, because some of them have diabetes and hypertension. But yes, daily, very good. Thank you so much. Daily we have temperature checks. The nurses come, nurses from the red zone walk here, and they will take their pressure, make sure that they have the medication, and at times the doctor will come in and take that home. So they're well taken care of.
Right, so NEMO is doing a fantastic job. Am I reading
Yes.
that from you?
Yes,
And
yes.
your supplies come in regularly?
Yes.
You have resources, you have your teachers,
And
they
we
have
have
a
other
shift
courses.
system?
Yes.
And they're working well?
Very good.
And the children are comfortable?
Yes, they are. Definitely, yes.
And the mothers, some of them, the fathers, they go to work
Yes,
and
and
return to the
return to the
shelter.
shelter.
And I note that this shelter is a model. It's recently refurbished. It is beautiful. And I know as a teacher, you will pay attention to that because we have to try and maintain the structure. Now, what is of concern is that you have children of different ages and that we hope that they are engaged fully and not waste too much time because this disaster is impacting on their education and you will know how important that is. Now, we are also looking at those students who are writing the CPEA examinations. You have any in this group?
We have 3.
Yes.
So they for now, they have been engaged by those grade 6 teachers who, who come in.
Yes.
But we wanted to have a program where we graft them into our school program because they are teaching online.
Yes.
But we are advised not to do so. We are going to graft them into Calico Anglican School Teams. We are on Microsoft Teams.
Yes.
We wanted to graft them in, but we are advised not to do so. Until then, with the teachers will continue with them. They go over to the...
On a one-on-one.
And one, yes, as much as possible.
And you have the protocols in place?
Yes.
The COVID protocols.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I don't know if they found Sunny when you came in, but everybody who usually comes in here must sanitize, including me. Must wear a mask and so forth. And we don't want anybody into the camp. We don't allow people into the camp. And so forth.
You have the social distancing.
Yes, social distancing. But I face a little problem in some of the rooms, but we are going to regularize that. We're working on it. One of the rooms that they're a little overcrowded and one can't because what we did, Calico, their model was group according to family, house and according to family, they are close relation, so that they will absorb the social distancing as well as the familiarity with these people. They will feel safe. So that's what we did here. So people who are close to each other, whether they're from the same household. But one of our rooms who has that also, even though we have that in place, that room is overcrowded, so we're trying to work on that. But for most part, things have been regular.
And if there are any challenges, you have a system in place that could address those challenges internally and not publicly.
Well, there's something that you can't prevent with social media and so there's something, but we try as much as possible to see how we can put a meeting together and we keep talking to shelterees, and because we know that it can create a kind of unrest to those who come in because they have left their homes and they would be dissatisfied for all different reasons. But we are trying to talk with them and calm them down.
Not so much, because it is hard when you are not in the city.
You know, I know.
And we have to understand. And we have to communicate.
Yes.
That is very important. To let persons let you know what are their frustrations, what are their needs.
Yes.
How we can assist.
Oh, thank you.
And, to make life a little more comfortable, not only for the shelterees, but for all of us. Because we have to be our brothers and sisters keepers. So it is important to communicate with those persons in the shelter and to get a good sense of them, of what they need, what are their frustrations. And I think that this shelter is well taken care of. My observation, and it's not today. No. I've been looking at what you've been doing over the days and the weeks. And I think that the NEMO has done a tremendous job in the organization and also in the coordination of the activities. It's a monumental task. But I've just visited the head office and they have a dedicated team. And I think they are handling whatever the challenges are.
Yes, I know.
Very well.
What we do...
So you work closely with them and also to make sure, because it's an institution, you have to remember that you have your inventories and your stocks.
That is
the government's requirement. And so you have to at least weekly keep a check of what you have, what you don't have, etc. and see how you can address those challenges as well.
But what in terms of needs, I have a teacher who's assigned and she'll go around and assess the needs on a daily basis.
Yes.
And then responding to the challenges, we would say whether we need to purchase certain things. In terms of sometimes toiletries, things like the personal items that you need and so forth. And a number of private persons are bringing in stuff. So as she assesses the need, she has some contacts, and we have so we are getting a lot of
You
things.
also have to remember when that is done, you have to keep a check on those.
She documents.
Yes, and also to inform NEMO of what you have received.
Yes.
See? So
that is documented.
Yes.
The secretariat, everything comes to the secretariat.
Yes.
And the person who donates.
Yes.
And we send them to the relevant. If it's for the kitchen side, that goes and whatever for upstairs. So everything that comes through goes to the secretariat. They document, do the necessary paperwork, and then they have posted to the different. If it's something that will go to the storeroom, it goes to the storeroom. If it's just stay in the kitchen.
And you're well stocked now?
I think that we are.
For how long? 2-3 weeks? 4 weeks?
I can't say because I find that things are, because even gas, we use 2 bottles of gas every day. Cooking gas, about that. So, yes, you know. But I think we have a good stock.
And do you support other members in the community from the stocks that you receive?
We started. Alec was started, not people from the community. 1 or 2 persons, no. I think there's a Chevron Stewart is in charge of evacuees. Oh, evacuees. One or 2 of them came. At the beginning, we were giving them, we registered them and we were giving them, but there's a new system in place where we only give to the shelters now. Yes, but there are 1 or 2 persons. If they come and food is there, we give them. Yes, we try to be as kind to them as possible.
Well, we see that you're well organized. I think the children are happy, we can see that, and they're engaged.
Yes, yeah.
So this morning we brought a small token for you and a few books because encourage them to read. Reading is something that is fundamental. And I brought some books on the St. Vincent Botanic Gardens, 15 of them, so that while they are not doing the usual things like having their meals and so forth, they can sit quietly and develop that reading skill. So let me just... I think it would be so on behalf of us at the government house, this is just a small thing. Use it for the children.
We greatly appreciate whatever, and we really thank you for your presence here today, and we will do our best to make this country and the people or this place as comfortable.
Like what you're doing? I hope you're doing your schoolwork and you're reading. Yeah, and you listen to the teachers and your parents. You do that. Well, we brought some books. You can look at the pictures first, and then you can read if you would like to read it. And when I come back to see you next time, I'm going to ask you about what you have read in those books. Okay? And you'll be seeing me again because I live just close to you on the hill at Randall Mill. So I can always come down to see you. So make sure you read those books, take care of them, and when I come back, I'm going to ask you what you read and see if you can remember all of what you read. I think I'll have something special for that 1 or 2 persons who remembered everything that you said. All right? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so that's what we're going to be wrapping up this visit to the town.
Well, we are visiting you. I know that you have a large shelter here, one of the biggest schools, and you're just trying to get a sense of what has been going on, whether you have any challenges, whether you feel comfortable with what you're doing, if there are any needs, and you probably can take us around to see the operation.
So basically, there will be challenges.
Let's just move it.
Some of the challenges, remember, we are interacting with persons, and sometimes they are coming from varying communities, varying backgrounds, so it will be a challenge to provide for all of them. Sometimes in terms of meals, we have persons who do not eat something, who do not do this, and if we have a menu for the day, we have to try to cater for everybody else. But in all, we could say that we are good so far. We are getting along with the persons. We are trying our best to treat them as a family because they'll be here with us. We don't know for how long. And we're just trying to make them as comfortable as possible. Yeah.
How many?
We have 95 persons in all, in total. Yeah.
And children, you have
We have 85 children. We have persons from Sandy Bay, Fancy, Park Hill, and South Rivers. So we have those 4 sets interacting, and they're learning to get along with each other. They were a bit first, they were by themselves, but now, after being here for about 22 days, they're socializing now and getting along much better. Right now, the kids are engaged in the Return to Happiness program. That's upstairs. They have the counselor and some volunteers. And then we have the adults. They are here cleaning up and taking care of their needs as much as possible.
So they assist with the...
Yes, they help us with the yard, with the cleaning of the bathrooms. They go down to the kitchen. They are involved in the day-to-day activities of the shelter.
We have them to help them to prepare meals. When the time comes, we involve them even with their meals because remember, they have varying eating styles. So we try to get the evacuees, to go in the kitchen so that we could know them better, know what they want, what they like, and so that we could cater for them better. So we have them involved in varying activities.
And in terms of the placement, I notice you have several levels. Is this section just for the administration, or do you have persons?
If it's for the
subfloor,
we use the entire building, but on this floor we have mainly the elderlies and families, so that it will be easier. From the ramp, they just come straight in, and then above we have other younger couples and the single males. They're up there. So we try to cater as much as possible to them. We use the building.
Well, I must say I'm very happy. Fair Hall School was configured to be a shelter. And you notice you have several ramps.
Yeah.
The way it is structured, you have the facilities in place as well to accommodate perhaps when you relocate persons from their homes. And so I think this site ideally is working out to be one of the good sites because logistically it's easy to work with, the Fair Hall School. And I know that NEMO, the organization, has been doing a tremendous job. And I hope you give them that feedback because they have been distributing They have been coordinating, they have been managing all that is happening. And sometimes I am saying it publicly because I realize it's a monumental task. Because when you think that 20% of the population have been displaced, and you don't know where some of them are, they're all over the place. Those in the shelters you can manage better because they're on site and exactly where they are. But that doesn't mean that you do not offer some support to members in the community. You see, once you keep a record of who they are and you work with them closely when they are in need, and you get that information back, ask them to take the necessary things that you have here, but you get that information back to me. You see, so you work closely with the management organization. We have been given some support from Government House, quite a bit of support, because we tend to work with the disabled and the elderly and persons who really do need assistance. And if you have persons like that here at Fair Hall, then you should let us know. I know that Mr. Asquith Phils, he has been very helpful to us at Government House in that they have given financial support to assist with that kind of need. Now, I am concerned about the children because as an old educator, my heart is in what is happening. They've missed classes last year, they're missing classes now. What have you done to ensure that they are okay? Are you using the resources that you have here? Because I know that you're well resourced when it comes to assisted learning and all of that.
We're using what we have, yes, and we have also gotten like puzzle books and activity books that we give them, and we have scheduled with the parents a time where they will stop the playing and do a little of that so that they would refresh and keep at what they have already. So we are trying as much. Yes, we're engaging them. Yes, and we, as I said, we have a room upstairs that we're working on. Their safe room. It's child friendly and it's conducive to learning and to feeling safe. So I think they are quite comfortable here. And you spoke about the disabled. Now we have one such disabled, and they came to remove her, but she was so comfortable here that she said she doesn't want to be moved. So I don't know if when you go to her what you would do, but if it's anything, we have no problem keeping her once.
Well, once you have no problem,
we have no.
She is comfortable.
Yeah, because they came already to have her moved, and she said she's comfortable and happy here. So,
and you have no
problem? None at all. We check on her as if she's just ours.
Well, the COVID-19 is indeed still very much in the air. What have you done in the shelter? Are you encouraging
we have all
the
been
test?
tested. We have all been tested. Last Saturday we had our latest testing. Everybody was negative. We try to enforce the mask wearing as much as possible. Yeah, and we have sanitizers. Each person has their own sanitizer, and in the room they have soap liquid. We try to encourage as much, and the small group, and we don't want too much gathering, so we try to limit all of that. Yeah, we follow the COVID protocol.
If I may add something to your concern about the children and the academics. So far we have a displaced teacher who is here with us, and he is teaching the grade 5 and 6, those for the CPA. He took out those group of children with our consent, and he's teaching them academics also. So he's doing maths and science, and then we have another teacher again who is displaced, and she is doing the language aspect of it, the composition, to make sure that they have their writing portfolio ready for that time, when that time comes.
How many children do you have on site? Between 5 and
between grade 5 and 6? Or age 5?
Age 5 to
33.
33.
Yeah.
So you have a good number. Let's see. No. And apart from the face-to-face sessions that they have, you have any physical activities for them?
Oh yes, we have a trainer comes in, Roxanne Williams, and Janelle, right? And then we have our grade 7 teacher. He comes to, he does PE with them, so they are all engaged in physical activity.
And you get feedback from each person?
Yes,
as to whether they're comfortable, whether they need anything, whether they're happy, whether, you know, the myriad of things they will have that will be challenging them. Because if you move from your home into somewhere that is unknown,
right,
then you will have, before you even get into the shelter, you may have things that you're worried about. So you interface with them regularly?
Yes, we had a meeting with them yesterday. So that we had a meeting with the evacuees yesterday. We asked them to tell us some of the, you know, they may have grievances that we don't know about, that they may not want to come to us freely to chat. So we gave them that time yesterday that they will be able to tell us what we are doing that is good, what can we do to even make it better for them. So we had a nice chat yesterday, along present with our school council and stuff like that. Yeah.
The one-on-one is always good.
Yeah, we do one-on-one also. Yes, yes, we did.
Well, their main grievance, they wanted more juice. They said it was too much water. So we were trying to tell them about wellness, but they were into the juice thing. And on Sunday, just to make them feel a little more welcoming and happy, we are having 24 days at FGS where we're going to have like a family day for them. Cook some food, we just have a nice little time, games and everything, just to make them feel as if, you know.
But make sure those children get involved in constructive activities.
Yes, we have them,
because they're missing out
a lot,
so much, and you don't even know when this is going to be finished. Now, I have brought with me a small package, and I would like both of you to step forward.
And I have you.
One on each side. So one this is going a ton. So I'm presenting you with just a small box, and I hope it will be useful, because I know you can never have enough for the necessities that you will find in the box. And if there's anything else that you would like us to give to you, you will let us know. And we work in conjunction with NEMO. We never give you unless we get the all clear from them. You see? And I hope you enjoy. Let everybody get a taste of what is inside.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we're going a very long way.
You have a lot of kids here. And oh yes. And we have to still encourage them to read.
Oh yes.
I am letting you have some of these books on the Botanic Gardens. It has a lot of educational material in it, and some of it would be used in your examinations from time to time, you know. So you can place one pack in the library, and the other pen you can give to the students, let them read it, or read them, and familiarize themselves with what we have in these books. And it's illustrated, and it has the names of most of the flowers, the plants in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I think it will stimulate them because they can identify a lot of what they see in this out there in the community. So I am passing it over to you.
Thank you very much. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming. We appreciate the visit. Thank you.
young man, are you enjoying being in the center?
Ernest?
Come.
Yeah, come, Jada, come, Warriors, come. Come.
Are you enjoying your stay in the center?
Yes, miss.
Yes, and what are you doing to occupy your time, to pass the time?
Class. Yes, class. It's out of the class upstairs.
Your class is upstairs. Yes, miss. And you do a lot of physical activity. You play some I see you have football down there, and you have, because you have to work off that energy. Yes? And remember, when you have that physical activity, when you go to study, it helps because the blood flows really nicely through your brain, and everything that you read, you'll find that it's easier to go in. You see? Now, your principal has some books here. I'm going to encourage you to read them. Get your friends to read them. And when I come back, I'm going to ask you about what you read in those books. You see? And I'm going to visit you again. And if you can answer all of my questions, I have a little surprise in store for you. Tell your friends that. All right?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, and with that, this is where we're going to be wrapping up the visits made today by Governor General Dame Suzanne Dougan. It all started at the NEMO call center in New Montrose, and then from there we journeyed to the World Food Program on the runway of the now decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport. From there, of course, we went to the World Feed Program, or the World Central Kitchen, I should say, at Diamond, and 2 visits made to 2 of the shelters, first at the Calico Anglican School and now here at the Fair Hall Primary School. Governor General Suzanne Dougan interacting with the shelter managers, and also I noticed that she had a particular care for the children who are being housed at the shelters, and left some books on the botanical gardens, issued a challenge to the youngsters, first and foremost, to read those books. She did say to them that she's going to return, and on return we'll be asking some questions about those books that she's asked them to read. With that, of course, as you notice, the vehicle has left, and this is where we wrap it up.